Okay, it's just Josh Katz, K-A-T-Z. Did you find me? Yeah? Tight, man. Shoot me a DM, I'll send you those photos later. What's your name? Nice to meet you, Matt. What's going on, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of the New York City Rooftop Quarantine series. In today's episode, I'm going to be breaking down all of my favorite photos that I've shot and the wonderful stories behind them since the last episode. Then I'll be sharing my favorite quarantine art projects that you've all submitted to me, and there's some fantastic, inspiring things in there. Stick around, let's start with some photos. Starting off with a very fun story that encapsulates why I love this project so much. You might remember these phenomenal dancers from my last video. All week I've been exchanging waves with them, and I feel like we've gotten friendly, or as friendly as you can get with people who are too far away for you to even yell to. But I really wanted to get in contact with them and share the videos and photos that I'd taken of them. So today I came up with a plan. I realized I could ask my new friend Sarah, who lives on the roof in between us, and you'll actually hear a story about her in a second, to go over there and pass along my Instagram. This works perfectly, and Meg, the girl who got dipped, DMs me, and I immediately hit her with a video chat. So the first thing she does is say, you know, I actually had the same exact idea today.
I created a sign so that we could thank you to talk to us.
We had a really nice time finally getting to actually talk while making very distant eye contact. Then I asked if they'd seen the videos of themselves dancing online, which they hadn't, so I got their permission to screen record their reactions to watching themselves for the first time. They knew I was recording, but they didn't know what happened with the footage, so this was a delight to get to watch. A lot of joy here, and what a treat making new friends from such a distance. This is why I love this project. On day 34 of quarantine, I witnessed a cat play date. My new friend Sarah brought up her cat for the first time, so we were taking some portraits, and we realized that there were 2 other cats within our eyesight, and all of the cats were looking at each other. So everyone came to the edge of their balcony or rooftop so that the cats could be as close as possible and have their own little social distancing play date. I also witnessed my friends Jeremy and Tori, aka King and Queen of the Internet, with their rooftop drone flirtation series, filming, I think, part 5, and got some behind the scenes moments from this. Side note, Jeremy, that was a weak haiku, and I know you could have done better. For this next set, I want to talk about the importance of smoking and drinking. And hear me out, it's not what it sounds like. So everyone's looking for ways to break the monotony of quarantine. Many neighbors come outside every evening to watch the sunset, which is a routine that I've personally grown quite fond of. So in this entire set, everyone is either drinking or smoking around this time. And while it's easy to chalk this up to boredom, I like to think these indulgences have a ritualistic importance. As the days blend together, work and leisure feeling suspiciously similar without a change of scenery, forming relaxing routines is a really crucial escape, and I love seeing how the roof takes part of this. Of course, this same effect could be achieved with daily smoothies and yoga, but I'm here to make observations, not judgments, and I'm in no place to judge. This is one of my favorite guys right now, so pragmatic. He goes on reading walks around his rooftop. It's been about 10 days since I shot this first video, and he's still reading the same book, but I have a feeling he's making some good progress. For this next set, I want to talk about the different situations that quarantine has put so many of us in, depending on our age, health, roommates, employment, paranoia, and feelings of invincibility. So people's rooftop behaviors tend to reflect all of these situations. Some people only go onto the roof to hang laundry, to avoid the laundromat, clean a rug, or conduct other necessary tasks, always mask clad. Socializing with other neighbors at a close range is a risk these people aren't willing to take, and rightfully so. They or any of the roommates might be sick, elderly, or immunocompromised, so their trips tend to be minimal. quick, and full of palpable anxiety. And I'm definitely seeing a lot of these people. But at the same time, for many people in the neighborhood, the rooftop is a place of pure leisure, a place for socializing with neighbors, exercise, passing the time, which is not always a luxury everyone has. My neighborhood is full of young, seemingly healthy people who live with friends and partners in similar situations, possibly prompting less concern with the prospect of getting sick. The stakes may be lower here, and this can, but not always, translate into riskier behavior and upholding social distancing without as much scrutiny. A quiet rooftop is a beautiful respite, but an overpopulated one becomes equally as dangerous as any public space. Please be cautious, respectful, and maintain social distancing, but you probably didn't have to hear that from me. There's also this shot I really enjoy, and fortunately this family saw my work on Instagram, so I've been able to share these photos with them, and they've been appreciative. Next, I want to share the story of Marco and his family and how they've become emblematic of the progression of rooftop culture. From what I've observed throughout the neighborhood, I think of this progression in 4 phases, and after seeing Marco spinning his daughter and dog around in circles the other day on the roof joyously, I realized that they have been through all 4 of these phases, and I've captured every step of the way. So let's walk through them all. Phase 1 is scouting. Since most of the roofs in my neighborhood require climbing up a ladder, people infrequently or never visited the roofs before quarantine. The first time I saw Marco, he was just taking his dog for a walk. Phase 2 is sharing. The first visitors convinced their roommates and neighbors to visit the roof, turning it into a social activity. After 2 weeks, Marco's wife and kids appeared on the roof for the first time. Phase 3 is experimentation. Everyone tries to make the space their own, testing its boundaries by getting closer to the edge and trying new activities like flying kites, playing hide and seek, and romantically spinning dogs in circles. Even dogs experiment. After being let off his leash, Marco's dog Horace spent the entire first day testing his comfort by peering over all of the roof's edges. Phase 4 is normalization. The roof loses its novelty and routines begin to form. A lot of us have way too much free time on our hands during quarantine, and as a result, some spectacular quarantine art projects are popping up. So I want to share a few of my favorites that you've submitted and some ones that I've found online that I'm a huge fan of. Starting off, Nikita sent me this project. He's been using Google Street View to take street photos, and he's gotten some wonderful work from this. Very, very cool. The New York Times asked 17 New York-based illustrators to capture what they've been seeing from their window, and the illustrations are absolutely gorgeous. Joe Jasper sent me a photo book that he made from some old photos he found digging through his archive of Rome, and I think this is an awesome idea. If there's ever been a time to dig through your archives and make a photo book or make a zine or something you've been putting off for a long time, this is the time to do it, so props to Joe. Erin Sullivan, who normally shoots a lot of landscape photos and travel shots, has started an awesome series called The Great Indoors, where she's been using miniatures and DIY setups to create landscapes in her house, and they are gorgeous, so inspiring, and I think the hashtag Great Indoors has prompted a big trend on Instagram. Craig Whitehead, aka 6th Street Under on Instagram, has been doing a phenomenal video game photography series. He's been doing street photos in Red Dead Redemption, among I think a couple other games, and what's incredible is that his style translates. So you could totally tell that it is a Craig Whitehead photo. Tom Brenner is a huge name in photojournalism. He's been covering politics for Reuters in the DC area and how everyone's been responding to the virus, and his work is incredible. This is history in the making, so you should be following his Instagram and tripping out on how great every single photo he posts is. If you want to look at more of these projects, I'll be linking them in the description, and please keep submitting all of your quarantine art projects to me. Send me an email, send me a DM on Instagram, whatever it takes. I'll be featuring more of my favorites in the next episode. Be sure to follow my Instagram to stay up to date on this series. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in next week's episode where I take on neighborly consent and what it means in the context of this series. I will see you there.